properly are our formulas. Without that, we have nothing, so there's a lot of secrecy. You really don't want anyone to know.
My world is making things taste good.
Soda pop and chewing gum flavorist Michelle Hagan has helped Givaudan and the food companies make billions with her secret formulas.
I create thousands of flavors, so I need somewhere to put them. And I have a lot of flavors in here. So here are some oranges and tangerines.
750 flavors, orange, tangerine, mandarins.
Raspberry is one of my favorite. I can't even fit all my raspberries on here.
How different can raspberries be?
Oh, very different, very different. Oh yeah, you can make them jammy, you can make them sweet, you can make them floral, you can make them seedy. It's endless, really.
And the flavor ingredients might not have ever met a raspberry.
I have butyric acid artificial, and then I have butyric acid natural.
All flavors are combinations of chemicals. Artificial flavors are largely man-made. Natural flavors come from nature, but not necessarily from what the label implies. For example,
Strawberry creations.
Strawberry and vanilla flavor can come from the gland in a beaver's backside.
So what we do is just manipulate them and create with them and give the impression of, the papaya or the strawberry.
Hagan is an illusionist. She's even created a flavor that mimics the taste and smell of an old oak tree.
To give whiskey a little bit more depth sometimes, a young whiskey.
Oh, to give the taste of the barrel it was supposed to have been aged in, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you can add some cask notes, some oak notes. Okay, here we go.
Hassel and Hagan let us in on the alchemy of inventing a new flavor. This one inspired by a Hong Kong kumquat that the team found not in Hong Kong, but back in Riverside.
I've been told the local shamans have been using Coca-Cola as part of their religious ceremonies.
Señora María, ¿cómo está? Mucho gusto.
Maria is a practicing shaman. Today she's treating this man for diabetes. The ceremony is a mixture of Catholicism, mysticism, and involves animal sacrifice.
Maria Sillarora, Cuchabocol, Sicabocol, Santa Maria, Cajval, Justo Ves, Chabuenda Bene Malgenele, Chabuenda Bene Malgenele, Cajval Sacometa, Betsacometa. Cushetic make a quality unit, Bectale, Cushetic make a quality unit, Kipale Cajval.
But what I find incredible is how she's using Coca-Cola.
Échanme.
Look at this, right next to the shrine. Maria's own well-stocked Coke fridge. She says she sells about 50 crates a month.
Why do you think there is so many people with diabetes here?
Problematic. Do you think
there are a lot of people with diabetes here because they have sugar drinks?
Ali bone da was 50 años, 51 hasta 51. Ali más o si lo que el van a hacer, scoot o lo caja li riesca mon judo con scoot, cerveza, pollo, stekel, vemos yo cosas saco hot.
It's dangerous advice. Diabetics need to cut down on their sugar intake.
So this is the chicken in the hose.
Chicken in the hose. Okay.
Chicken in the hose, that's right. We'll stretch this hose out and we'll actually load the liquid into these individual trays. It gets vacuum dried in the oven and it comes out in a dry cake form. We'll grind that into a fine powder.
Chicken, just like Grandma used to make. It's used in soups, stews, sausage, noodle, and rice dishes. Chicken by the ton. Chicken for every taste. Our old friend Krusty Fatty. Chicken for vegetarians. Yes, chicken without chickens. Ground zero for the food and flavor industry is the supermarket. Givaudan won't reveal which brands contain their flavors, but in this aisle, almost every product on the shelves has been enhanced artificially or with so-called natural flavors. And not only that, virtually everything edible in a package, in a jar, in a can, is intensified with either fat, sugar, or salt, or all three of those little devils.
We're eating fat on sugar on fat with flavor. And much of what we're eating with these flavors, you have to ask yourself, is it really food?
Dr. David Kessler is the former head of the FDA. He is Dr. No. He's bent on getting America to kick its bad habits.
We're living in a food carnival. These flavors are so stimulating. They hijack our brain.
Kessler believes flavorists are accomplices, the hired guns of the food industry.
They make food super palatable.
What's wrong with that? Don't we want the richness of good taste?
Of course, food has to be pleasurable. It has to be desirable. But look around, Morley. Look around this country, and what do you see? Ask the rest of the world how they view Americans, and they will say, we don't want to look like them.
Are you saying that the food industry and the flavoring industry together are trying to make and succeeded in making us addicted?
Did the industry do this deliberately? No. It learned what stimulates. It learned what people want.
There's no question we're trying to create an irresistibility and a memorability. I think, though, that there's then a leap to get to that leads to overconsumption.
Bob Pellegrino is Givaudan's flavor czar as Vice President of Global Strategy and Business Development. Your critics say, but you provide the means to seduce people into eating too much salt, too much fat, too much sugar, and responsible partly for the obesity in this country.
Our business is to make taste experiences pleasurable ones. So I don't think that the flavors create an overeating problem. I think that's a different issue.
But is it a different issue? Because surely what your clients want, the food industry wants, is to provide the kind of flavor that will make people want more.
I don't think it's creating a desire for moreness as well as it's a desire for memorability so that people will repeat the purchases of the product and enjoy them.
But given the obesity epidemic, the food industry is beginning to respond to pressure for lessness, if there is such a word, of fat, salt, and sugar. And that's opening up a whole new business opportunity and another challenge for these alchemists of flavor.
Seeds are.
So a real seed, germ means life. I take a paddy seed, I put it into the soil, it'll give me 1,000 paddy grains. And so it multiplies, it regenerates on its own. Hybridization was the first step the companies took to say farmers shouldn't save seeds. So we'll hybridize so the next generation of seed does not breed true. There was still a plant,
Right.
but it would not give good rajma, so you couldn't use it. But GMO, genetically modified seeds, they add a gene that doesn't belong to that plant. But because every organism has a tendency to reject what doesn't belong to them, they have to add viral promoters. There's 100,000 cells in the petri dish. Maybe one cell absorbed this gene, so you have to separate it from the others. So you put in antibiotic resistance markers. A GMO has antibiotic resistance, viruses. It's been done because it's linked to patenting. This is why I save seeds, because once you have a patent, you treat the seed as your property.
We made noodles from scratch, just from flour and water, and served it in a broth made from water and vegetables and salt and pepper. And then the other group, they were given bought noodles from the supermarket that come with a sachet that you add hot water to, and that was served with a blue drink, a blue sports drink. And then they swallowed these cameras to give the visuals of what then went on. And 4 hours after they swallowed the real food meal, all that was left was white fluff in the digestive system, and that's how it's supposed to be, really well broken down by that stage. But for the people who had the bought food meal, 4 hours after they ate it and swallowed the camera, you could still see the teeth marks in the noodles. So, what that suggests is if you have food in your digestive system for 4 hours exposed to all of your digestive enzymes and it hasn't been broken down, it suggests that maybe there are substances in some of these processed foods that we have no ability.
The senator's new bill is raising some eyebrows. Senator Ralph Shorty introduced legislation today that would ban the use of aborted human fetuses in food. Now, Shorty says the bill is needed to raise public awareness in his own research. He says he found companies that may use embryonic stem cells to develop flavors.